Hey. Wow, I just got a message. This is Carlton Lewis, a.k.a. Mellow Melanin, a.k.a. Mega Businessman, coming to you live and direct from Atlanta, Georgia. Just got a message from Facebook saying this is your 50th broadcast. Now, that's really interesting because I probably should have more than that when I think about it. You know, I stopped doing Facebook Lives for a minute, and so I'm back doing them, and I'm on a 90-day blitz on Facebook Lives. So, and it's pretty cool that they sent that. You know what I mean? That means I'm going to just keep going. So, today we're on episode 8. We'll give it a little bit of time for people to chime in here. And I got some really cool notes from a wake-up call I was on this morning with My Lead System Pro. And I tell you, learning from people who have walked the road that you want to go down is invaluable. All right. And, you know, the title of this Facebook Live is how Mark went from $7 to 6 figures. And Mark is like multiple 6 figures. He's about to hit $1 million in revenue this year. That's his goal. And I have no doubt that Mark's going to hit it. But Mark talks about a time when he only had $7. You know, and I've heard this story before, but that makes me respect him more and more and more every time I hear him, because his name is Mark Herbert, by the way. If you want to research him and see if Mark Herbert's a real person, yes, he's a real person. Mark Herbert, H-A-R-B-E-R-T. Mark Herbert, markherbert.com. So Mark dropped some nuggets this morning on this wake-up call, and he called it stacking the odds in your favor. All right, and he gave out 5 crucial steps to doing this, stacking the odds in your favor. And I'm a pretty good note taker, and I like to share this information. And I want to actually kind of flip it around and to show how it can apply to any business, any brand that you're building, any business that you're building, online, offline. You pretty much need to do these same steps. And let's just go ahead and go through them. I'm pretty excited about these steps, and I'm pretty excited about showing these to you. So when you see this, share this with your friends and people that you care about, because there may be somebody that you know, at least one person that needs these same steps. All right, and Mark got these 5 steps. They're in a document over at My Lead System Pro. It's called Fire Your Boss. You know what I'm saying? It's Fire Your Boss in 5 steps, with these 5 daily steps. So Mark took it and flipped them, and I'm going to take it and flip them to basically how I use it for my Uber business and pretty much any business that I'm involved in. And like Mark said, you know, building your business this way is the best way to do it. I wouldn't try to build a business any other way. You know, no disrespect to people who are building business in a traditional way. But I like building business and attraction marketing. All right. So the first thing he talked about, Mark talked about these 5 crucial steps, and he says there's a difference between wanting a business and pursuing success. I'm sorry. There's a difference between wanting success and pursuing success. Wanting doesn't really, that's nothing. That's like a wish. But when you're pursuing, that means you're taking action. So one of the first things you got to do, he talked about, come from a place of being grateful. But I'm going to give you the steps. Number 1 step. All right. He said, every day you must visualize. And I don't know if any of you've seen the movie The Secret or read the book. I actually went back and looked at the movie again yesterday as much as I could before I fell asleep on it. And one of the things they talked about in there was visualizing. You know, we have this massive power of imagination, and it can bring us whatever we think about. You know, what you think about becomes about. Thoughts become things. You know, you hear these cliches over and over and over, but there's some truth to them. And he talks about this, every day you must visualize, get still every day, 10, 15 minutes, even 30, even an hour, where you're just sitting and you're still and you're quiet and and add on some imagination to it. How do you want your life to look? How does it feel? And those are 2 things, thoughts and feelings. They manifest things. Okay. Real thoughts make real things. All right. So that's number 1. Every day you need to visualize. I do it first thing in the morning. All right, I visualize where I want to be. I visualize where I want to stay. I visualize where I want to vacation. I visualize, how I want my relationships to be. I visualize how much money I want to make. People are so funny because they think it's a bad thing to earn money. No, it's a good thing to earn money. It's all in the spiritual text about earning money. Number 2, he talked about doing some type of personal development every single day. And personal development is learning something, study something, just like that call I was on every day. If you're in a network marketing company, most of your companies have a phone call every day that you go to, and you hear some positive energy, positive affirmation. You're going to need that as an entrepreneur. Okay. Because there'll be all kind of things pulling your train of thought this way, that way, to take you off focus. How do you combat that? You combat that with personal development. Personal development. That's number 2. So be focused on becoming a better you. And, it's something that Brian Finale said earlier, and I have it in my phone, but he said, you don't have the business that you want because you're not the person who can run the business. Once you got to become the person first in order to get that business that you want. One of my mentors, Diane Hotman, big shouts out to Diane. She has a question that she asks herself, and she's trained her students to ask themselves this question: who do I need to be in order to blank? Who do I need to be? That means you have to change. That means you have to change who you are at the moment in order to become somebody else. So who do I need to be in order to blank? And you fill in the blank. It could be, who do I need to be to make X amount of sales per day or X amount of sales per week? Who do I need to be to make X amount of money per week? Who do I need to be to get a new car? Who do I need to be to get a new house? And then once you figure that out, you're going to get an answer from your brain. And that's when you got to really trust your brain. And I talked about that. One of the entrepreneurs that I picked up a couple of weeks ago in the Uber, you want to go back and catch that episode. I'm not sure which episode it is, but I did it last week. And that gentleman talked about the power of the brain and how powerful the brain was at attracting things to you. Okay. We're basically magnets, that can get really deep on that part, but we're basically magnets. Our body sends out a signal, an electromagnetic signal, and it brings things to us. Whatever we think about, it becomes about. All right. So let's go on to number 3, because that's a whole Facebook Live session by itself. That's a whole book by itself, talking about the law of attraction and personal development. Number 3, let me see, because I have a lot of notes from here. He says, every day, learn something new for at least 1 hour. Every day, learn something new at least 1 hour. Spend at least 1 hour learning something new. And so many people are resistant to learning something new. They're okay with where they are. They're complacent with being where they are, but they want things to change. Somebody else said, things don't change. People change. Things are going to be the same. The sun's going to come up, it's going to rise in the east, it's going to set in the west every single day. That's not going to change. It's been that way for millions of years. So think about that. So things don't change, people change. So you have to change. And that goes back along to right into the personal development. But learn something every day. Learn some type of marketing. You want to be a successful business owner, and that's really what these 5 steps are about. It's being a business owner, but also changing who you are in the process, because you have to change who you are in the process. You have to learn something new. Case in point, I learned some stuff about Facebook ads, a couple of weeks ago from Dustin and Tracy Wisnowski. They had a webinar on, how to do Facebook ads, how to target your market using Facebook ads. And, I was running some Facebook ads and I was just spending money, but I learned some stuff from them. And that's like shortly after that, I went and I started running Facebook ads applying the things that I had learned from them. Before I saw that webinar, I knew some stuff, but I didn't know what they knew and what they shared with me. So take the time to study, learn marketing. And then when you're learning that thing, don't try to learn every form of marketing there is, because there's so much. You got regular Facebook stuff that you can do, like the Facebook Messenger, posting in groups. You got your pages that you can work from. You got YouTube, you got Instagram, you got Twitter. So you got all kinds of strategies, blogging. So you got all kinds of strategies. Pick one strategy and learn it, and just learn as much as you can about it. Take an hour every day. And guess what? After a while, let's say you do, like he gave an example. If you do, 250 hours a year, do you know how much content, do you know how much that would change your life? It's more than 250 days in a year. Just like I started this Facebook Live sharing with you guys that, I've done 50 Facebook Lives. That's not a lot. It's been more than 50 days that have passed in this year. You know what I mean? So that's not a whole lot, over a period of what, like a year? That's not a lot. That's not a lot. So think about it. You're learning, take some time, learn something 1 hour per day about your business or marketing. I would suggest marketing, because marketing is the lifeblood of your business. Study marketing. So many people don't want to study marketing or spend money on marketing, but they want to have a business, but they don't understand that marketing is the lifeblood of your business. Without marketing, you have no business, straight up. That brings us to number 4, and that is execute. What you learn, go execute it. Go out into the market and use it. What you learn, create a video about it. This is like this Facebook Live I'm doing now, right? I got this information, a lot of this information from Mark, but I'm putting my own spin on it. So I'll give you another example, right? Some of my buddies, and this will piggyback into the 5th step. Some of my buddies who are also Uber drivers, I learned some stuff from them. I went out and learned, actually, one of them pointed me to a video, pointed me to a guy who had a YouTube channel, and I studied a lot of his videos at the YouTube channel, and I started taking action. So I built a blog based on this thing and a YouTube channel, ridesharedrivingtips.com. I just executed. All right. And it's not hard to go learn some stuff and then put it into practice. One of the things that Mark said too, he said the reason why people don't complete these 5 steps is because they don't do number 2 right, or they're afraid to do number 2. They don't do, and they don't do personal development. They don't do step number 2, personal development. Personal development gets you over all of that. Okay. So let's go into number 5. All right. Number 5. And this is crucial. This is critical. This is I'm not going to say it's the most important step, but if you want to build a real business, a sustainable business, you have got to network.